Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast. Because it is Gothic horror, there might be some things that come up to a line for you. Things such as talk about abuse and trauma, blood, gore, body horror, child endangerment, and various other things. If something does come up to a line for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So last time, the party had taken the man they found in the strange mirror in the playroom back to the carriage house. Before having a long rest, they investigated the items that they found in his pockets, finding that there is a small chest used as a component for Liamon's secret chest, as well as a wand of lightning bolts and his spell book, as well as a pouch of components, all of which were taken from him. Percy, changing the bandages on his arm, found carved into his arm the words, don't forget, you are Oscar Kruetzwald. Realizing who he was, it was a very alarming experience, but the party was unable to wake Oscar up. A strange confluence of events happened after they finished their long rest, where the proprietor of the Cuddly Rat appeared. Apparently, the shop door appearing where the cupboard to the pantry was. They went inside where Rerek gained a special magical item that turned his spellbook into a different spellbook, which gave him more power over his divination magic, as well as granting him additional spells. There was then an interaction involving a mirror where Lucky, the tiefling that you all had met in the Feywild, had apparently contacted Arthur through a mirror in the shop. Upon deciding that this was important information that needed to be discussed, a portal was opened and Arthur ventured off to the Feywild. Almost immediately after, Bruno ended up dropping what turned out to be an orb of disintegration, whereupon he was disintegrated, leaving only his magical items. Upon the shock of having so many different events thrown at you all at once, you all left the shop, it vanishing behind you, and you decided to take Oscar to the hospital where your mother could take care of him and possibly restrain him to keep him from flinging lightning bolts. You managed to make it back, handed him over, and had a quick visit with Ethel to find that she is doing well. She's still suffering with nightmares and PTSD, as well as fatigue and other things, but she is doing better than expected, even if she is going a little slow. You then went home, where Percy revealed that they possessed the crown and the staff of which Belladonna needed in order to essentially end the world, whereupon a small argument broke out amongst the party on whether or not that should have been mentioned or not. Lark took the opportunity to dip out and pitch a business opportunity to Percy's father, Howard, to sell a variety of plants from the Feywild to unsuspecting mortals. The two of them then made a delicious mushroom risotto, and Percy and Holly played hide and seek, finding there are quite a few various hiding spots for a small doll in the house that he never would have considered before. But either way, the risotto was delicious. The dinner was refreshing after all that you have experienced. And I will say that you have now had a long rest if you did not have anything to do immediately after dinner. And we can fast forward to the very next day. What would you all like to do now that you have woken up and probably eaten breakfast, possibly porridge, eggs, toast with butter on it, bacon, various other things that are staples at the Kruetzwald house? What would you all like to do?
If my mother is still here, I guess I'll just, while we're wrapping things up for breakfast, like, so mother, any word on Oscar at all?
I didn't receive anything from the night nurses, but I'll be heading into work and I can send you an update.
Right. If you don't think he's going to wake up anytime soon, we might continue our investigating.
Fair enough. We will see. It seemed he was pretty deep in a coma, but we will do our best.
Or do you think? I know you've taken us into the minds of another person before. Do you think that would be helpful again?
That was a fluke. That was not meant
That
to
was,
happen.
yes, I remember now. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah, that was an unexpected fluke. That rarely happens at all. And we only do that if we believe the patients are going to die on us and we want to get their final wishes. I don't think
Didn't he
that's going to
already
happen.
technically died?
well, he got better.
Yeah, I don't think he is in danger of passing away at the moment. He is simply in a vegetative state. But I will keep you informed.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we'll probably head back to the house then.
Well, safe journeys, I guess. Really the only thing that I can wish you at this point, knowing what's in that house. Please come back in one piece.
It's always the goal. And I'll kind of like pat Holly on the head. I think we'll probably leave her here.
Okay.
Maybe you and Bella can try to. I think she's fine, but maybe just keep an eye on her.
Yeah, we might be taking a trip to the Grand Cathedral just to be absolutely sure.
That's probably for the best. And if everything's all good, maybe we could find a good home for her where she can play all she wants.
Yes, that would be preferable. We will see if we can do that after my morning rounds.
Sure.
And she kind of at this point finishes packing her bag and yeah, just come back in one piece. And gives you a nod before leaving for the
All right.
hospital.
I'll say my goodbyes and be like, all right, we ready to go? Or is there anything you guys want to do in the city? Or all right, then that's hoof it.
Oh, I think we've taken care of everything we had to here. We can go back to the house.
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way back. You do see as you pass by fairy godmothers, there is some additional equipment that has been started to be brought up, as well as you see people that look like builders beginning to kind of look the statue up and down. You have a feeling it probably will be taken down pretty soon. You pass out of the city onto the road and up to the house once again. You find your way up the driveway and past the carriage house to the fork in the road, the left leading to the lake house and the right leading to the cemetery.
All right. I guess we can just walk back through the hedge maze and garden, and I'm curious to see if the garden the last time we were here, like it was all empty. Are the gardeners back?
As you walk through the garden, you do see some of the gardeners around. planting, fixing, but you also notice that there seem to be odd paths that have been seemingly walked through some of the flower beds. As you continue walking, you begin to see strange, small, squat, almost mechanical things that are marching around. Most of them are spherical with a single eye, a lens that pops and moves in and out. You see one that is seemingly has a humanoid body but has a cube for a head. You see another one that seems to be an inverted three-sided pyramid, each of which has a face on it, an arm off to each side. And you see one that seems to consist mostly of 5 blades that are spinning very quickly as it rises and flies through the air. And they are very noisy. They seem to beep and boop and whir and click and all kinds of other things. And it seems the gardeners are rushing to fix the garden where these things have carelessly trampled, and they're just milling about, not really doing anything, possibly investigating, but it's hard to tell. They are very robotic.
This is new.
What the?
Do any of us know what these are?
I don't think so.
Probably not. I mean, if you want to make an Arcana check, you can, but it would be a very high DC.
It does feel like automaton is like a rare thing around here, isn't it?
I might just go up to one of the gardeners and talk to them.
All right. Yeah, one is hurriedly trying to put tulips back upright, and is cutting some of the tulips that seem to have been trampled beyond repair, slamming new bulbs in. Just, oh goodness, this is a mess. This is a mess.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you. What's going on here?
Well, it seemed not too long ago, these things showed up just out of nowhere and started trampling all over the garden. What would Dorothea think? My goodness, just slamming bulbs into the hole.
Did you see? Did they like come out of a portal or?
Yes, they did. I believe the portal is closed at this point. I'm entirely unsure of what these things are, but they are just trampling all of the tulips, all of the flowers, and we are on full alert to make sure that this place is in order and it stays in order.
Right.
And these things are just.
Well, I guess I won't keep you then if you have to keep that under control. I look at the boys. Should we talk to Malice about that, maybe, or?
Well, I mean, we don't have Arthur with us, so nobody's going to be tempted to
ingest their hallucinogens.
Creep into their head. Oh, why not?
And as we walk over, these things, they don't look malicious in any way. They're just sort of doing their thing, and it happened to be trampling things. And
yes, it
they
seems
like
that
big.
The round one and the one with a humanoid body with the cubic head, they seem to be about, at most, the spherical one seemed to be about 3 feet tall. The one with the cube head seems to be about 4. The pyramid one seems about somewhere between 5 or 6. It's hard to tell. It is very far away in the distance. And the one that was flying through the air, you don't know. It's up in the air. It could be. It's definitely around the size of the triangle one, but it's probably around the size that the upside down pyramid one is, but it could be closer to the one with a cube for a head.
All right, well, let's see what Malice thinks about this.
Yeah, the greenhouse seems to be just as you left it. The strange plants, the central spiral staircase in the greenhouse, as well as the bed in which it seems that these zombies have been laid to rest, covered back up with dirt. They aren't moving very much, but their plants are the plants that are coming off of them seem to sway strangely, almost happily in the dirt. They don't seem to be roused, but you do see Malice in the middle as he seems to take notice of you. Ah, you've returned.
Yeah, well, we just saw what was going on outside. Do you know what those things are?
If my memory serves me correctly, those are probably modrins from the plane of Mechonis. I've seen them invade many worlds.
Invade.
Invade. Oh my god. That doesn't
Well,
bode well.
As far as I am aware, they are extensions of the will of Primus, the ruler of Mechonis, that demands total order in all things. If something becomes too disordered, he dispatches them to investigate and ultimately, if needs be, destroy.
Well, I guess there is quite a lot of disorder coming from the house. Um,
Yes.
Can we employ them?
so is there like something we should do about that? Or just leave it be and maybe they'll just go away?
Perhaps leave it be for now. There aren't very many. At least none, not enough that would overwhelm my allies here.
Your gardeners seem to be having a bit of a fit out there, trying to keep up with them.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but they'll manage.
Malice, I thought you liked order too.
I do. My own type of order.
Hmm.
I know what is best for this garden.
Right. Well, it's been a pleasure, as always.
Yes.
I guess we'll just keep an eye on them, I guess, for now.
Good idea. Don't be shy. Stop by whenever.
Are there any other interplanar incursions that we should know about that have happened around here, Malice?
I'm not sure. Nothing beyond my nothing has really come into the garden except for them. My influence stretches to the garden and no further. Anything else is beyond my perception.
All right. Well, we're gonna go.
Well, don't be a stranger. Stop by whenever. I'll be
course.
here.
When did they start rhyming? Bye.
It kind of waves a vine as you leave.
Okie dokie.
Did
Yes.
anybody else have minions of a Lord of Order on their bingo card?
No, that's
What's bingo?
just another surprise, I think, for us.
That's
The
just
real
another
question
thing.
is, how many other planes of existence can your ancestors cause to
on.
manifest on the material plane?
Thinking at this point that nothing is quite outside of their purview.
And at this point, Alex kind of pops up. That plant was talking, right? I'm not imagining that.
Oh shit! This is the
No,
first
that's
one.
just Malice. He's a sentient alien plant.
Don't take
Alien.
anything he offers you.
No. He does want to control your mind.
Well,
Oh,
I am surprised he didn't mention you since you're a new face.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not his type. Who knows?
You're lucky.
Well, to the house then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. You notice no other changes on the way to the house, just the modrons in the garden. You make your way back up to the house, back up through the door and into the grand foyer. The chandelier still on the ground, covered in dust. The doors at the back still open, and the solarium still obviously in whiskey mode. Where would you all like to go, and what would you all like to do?
So we've done all of the second floor at this point, I believe.
Yes, I think you skipped the music room and the art studio.
Those are on the second floor?
Those are on the second floor.
All right, let's go to the music room.
All right, let me flip to my notes. Yeah, you make your way up the stairs and into the music room. It's surprisingly spacious. It has a harp, a piano, what looks to be a smaller sort of piano, possibly a harpsichord. There are violins, cellos, violas, flutes, bassoons, cymbals, drums of various types. It seems to be a space just practically for music storage. There seems to be sheet music littered all over the room on various music stands. It seemed to have gotten quite a bit of use, but other than that, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary.
Cool. Rerek, do you want to use your specialize?
Yeah, sure.
Interestingly, you do detect almost every single instrument has a tiny bit of abjuration magic on it.
What'd that do again?
It's like arcane lock and protection magic and things like that.
Oh. All of the instruments?
All of the instruments. It's only a tiny amount, though.
They all seem to have abjuration magic on them. Although I'm not sure. Do any of you know how to like play an instrument?
Not very well, no.
I
I do
mean,
chopsticks.
I'm impressed that they're not bound with human skin leather and the souls of the suffering based on what
Okay.
we've known of their family, but I can play an instrument or two.
Can you try playing one of them?
Does anything look like a set of panpipes?
There are plenty of flutes, not specifically panpipes, but there are plenty of flutes.
Is it his size?
I'll try
No.
playing a flute.
All right. You can give me a performance check if you'd like.
Performance.
Oh, that's not going to be great. If it was a panpipe, I'd be proficient.
Sorry.
It's fine. Performance check, 9 plus 5 is 14.
You play a pretty good tune on the flute. Hearing it, this flute seems to not be damaged in any way, shape, or form. It seems to be perfectly in tune.
So is the charm, just to make sure it's always in good shape.
It's a possibility.
I don't think we have to try each and every one of these fucking things.
I guess, can I just roll like an investigation check in this room to see if there's anything worth noting outside of these musical instruments?
Sure, you certainly can.
The 12.
You notice most of the sheet music seems to be handwritten.
Wasn't one of them also, they wrote music?
Yes.
Was the
We
same one
found-
who was the painter?
Yes.
We
Ludwig.
found some sort of
Ludwig. Are they like
Ludwig.
signed by Ludwig?
Ludwig. Kruetzwald.
Some of them do have his name at the top. Those seem to be the most professional ones. Others are just scrawls, but you begin to recognize that there are certain patterns of notes that he tends to use in his pieces that are very similar to each other, and so you can assume that he wrote them. There are ones that seem to be professionally printed, that
Are there
are
any
not.
titles that catch our eyes?
No, it's just stuff like Staccato number 5 or
Oh man, did we ever follow up? We gave that sheet music to the bards in that one theater. Did we ever follow up with them?
no, you did not.
We should do
Oh,
that.
None of the titles really stick out. They're all stuff like I said, Staccato number 5 or like Down by the River or, other
Gotcha.
innocuous.
I like the sheet music we gave to the bards at the staff, which was literally like,
It was like
Call
the
the
dark
ancient
between the
abomination.
stars or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was literally the dark between the stars, and it was a symphony.
Okay.
You do see different pieces that you can assume are probably symphonic in nature. It has instruments written like flute, drum, violin.
Can I also do an investigation check
Yes, you may.
while my detect magic is up?
Yes.
13 plus 7, that's a 20.
You don't find anything new. You might poke around and kind of plink the piano a bit, and sounds like the piano's in tune. It really shouldn't be after 400 years of not being used, but it sounds
Okay.
fine.
So the enchantment is everything is in tune.
Seems to be.
Okay.
Can I do a performance check on a random instrument
Yes.
just to see while I make fun of Percy's family somehow?
Yes, you may do a performance check.
Okay, Bo Burnham.
Oh, a 3 plus 5 is only an 8.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, I haven't done my portents for the day.
So what instrument would you have picked up and tried to play?
Oh, this was totally going to be a tuba that
Oh.
Lark physically can't even pick up. He's just using mage hand to try fingering the tuba from one end.
As you're blowing into the other one. It does let out some horrible fart sounds, but from your experience with just hearing mortal music, this doesn't seem to be a damaged or out of tune or old tuba. It just seems to be a tuba that you can't play.
Oh no, Lark's like, yes, this is what mortal music is supposed to sound like. Shit.
Yeah.
Literally, it sounds like farts.
Okay. Forward. We're going forward then.
Yeah.
Wherever's next.
So the next place that you have explored only the master bedroom on the 3rd floor, but you have not, I believe the last place you have to explore on the 2nd floor is the painting studio.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. So yeah, you walk into the painting studio and yeah, every single one of these paintings is very obviously Ludwig's paintings. He has a very distinctive and unique style. Even when painting realistic portraits, there are hallmarks that you have picked up that you can tell every single one of these paintings is one of Ludwig's paintings. Most of them are portraits, some of them are landscapes, none of them look eerie in any way.
My detect magic is still up.
None of the paintings are magical.
Okay. Goddamn.
Yeah, none of the paintings are magical.
I was gonna say I was having PTSD with those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, none of them are magical. All of the paint seems to have dried. It seems like he was in the middle of working on a painting. It's a very large painting that seems to be of a tree in the middle of a garden during twilight, night. It's hard to tell. With a swing that the rope that's holding it up was braided with flowers. It's just an empty swing, nothing eerie or scary about it, just an empty swing. He has a few others like that. It seems he likes to put swings in his landscape paintings, particularly off of trees with flowers wrapped around the ropes, but not every single one. There are some mountain scenes that don't have those.
Is it Rococo?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit Rococo. And then there's some more impressionistic styles that appear like he was looking out the window and just painting what he saw, people milling around, indistinct blobs and shapes that coalesce into a cohesive image that appears like a garden party or something like that. Most of these paintings seem to be almost finished, but not quite. There's spaces that are untouched or undone. It seems he liked to jump between painting and painting, but that's all you see here.
I can relate so much.
All
Yep.
right.
So these are all
Well-
stretched canvases, right?
Yes, they are stretched over wood.
Or okay, like a wood stretcher frame or a wood board?
A frame.
Okay. Yeah, Lark's gonna fly behind one and then shove his head through where someone else's head should be.
Give me a strength check, please. Uh-oh.
I mean, I have
11 minus 2 is a 9.
Ooh. So you fly behind one of the paintings and you kind of aim where you think this head is going to be. And the rest of you watch this canvas and you hear, ha-ha, poof, and this little dent pops out. And it's like half an inch off from the face of the figure in the portrait that there's just a bubble now. And for a moment, you're a little bit dizzy as you kind of float back a little bit, but you did not break the canvas.
Are you done?
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast it then.
A big hole rips through the painting.
How dare you?
It almost hits Alex. He ducks, whoa, what the fuck? As it kind of bounces off the wall and the painting just falls forward.
Oh, no, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast and then stick my head through the hole that Eldritch Blast makes.
Oh.
You just
Now-
manage to stay up as the painting kind of slips off the easel and it's like swaying as your head is through it and you're like, haha. It's
Should have
still
just done this in the first place. But
it's still not quite. There's still like half an inch of human face on the other side of the hole. You missed a little bit.
look, everyone, I'm an ancient Kruetzwald. Let's make pacts with abominations and be horrible people.
Thank you. That's quite a performance there.
I've seen
Um,
better.
All right.
I
Should
forgot Alex is
we-
also Kruetzwald.
Yep, he is. And this is his first time in the house, so he's kind of like, what the fuck?
Well, second time we dragged him into the house to go to the
Yeah.
doll room.
Right, yeah.
You know, I feel like Lark's still having this conversation with his head through a painting that's floating with him at this point, and he's like, again, I'm surprised after the playroom with the doll mirror that, like, none of these paintings are vomiting out lumps of flesh that are trying to eat us, or
Well, Ludwig is definitely becoming my favorite of my ancestors so far. He's
except he
Kind of
composed a
disappointing.
symphony to summon the end of the world.
we don't know that.
It's kind of disappointing. We're almost done sweeping out this entire place.
We have a whole floor left, and whatever's in the basement.
Oh,
And we have the sub basement
how many basements do you need?
what did the well, sub basement or subterranean tunnel, depending on how you think about it. What was it? An Umber Hulk? That's what he called that.
Yeah.
Oh, that
delicious-
thing.
Yes, there's a whole tunnel of networks that must have dug underneath. We could explore too sometime.
Let's just start with the third floor.
Okay. That is exciting.
So you make your way up to the third floor. You have explored the master bedroom, but there are still all of the other bedrooms that you would need to
Sure.
explore.
Let's just
Um,
make our way down the one right next to the master bedroom. Let's start with that.
All right. So that one, it
Yeah.
seems to also be a master bedroom. There aren't name plaques on the door, but kind of looking up at the paintings that are, because this hallway, the walls are covered in paintings that seem to all be your family members. From the paintings that kind of crowd around this door, it seems that this is Melkor and Elsbeth's room. And it seems to be a second master bedroom. It doesn't have this separate floor. It doesn't have another fireplace. It has a bath, a nice bed, not a canopy bed, but a nice bed, and 2 writing desks, as well as a set of armchairs, a chaise longue, and a coffee table, as well as a nice sort of woven carpet that is spread out underneath of it as kind of a, this is the living room section of the bedroom. There are books stacked up on the table, on the chairs. There's a few scattered on the bed. It looks like the bookshelf has some large chunks of books that are missing. Presumably those are the ones that are strewn about. Some of them are open. The papers are strewn about. It seems to be that either Melkor or Elsbeth was in the middle of something and then did not return to it.
We see what they were in the middle of.
Sure. You look down, it's definitely arcane texts.
Rerek. Look at it.
I'm looking
you-
at it.
Do
Do I do like an Arcana check or whatever?
if you'd like, you can.
Can I give him the help action by just
Yes.
snidely being like, Lark's doing the help actions like, what do you want to bet it's about? Abominations, interplanar apocalypses. We fed the children.
I
Yeah,
have
that's true.
11 plus 7, so it's an 18.
You had advantage and you only rolled an 11.
Yo.
Oof.
Goodness. Ooh, but at least you had a +7.
Mhm.
So looking through these, a lot of these are actually arcane texts in various different languages.
Oh, God.
In this house, you've come across a lot of books that were written in common, and were written presumably by Gothian authors. This seems to be a curated collection of arcane texts from wizards from various corners of the earth. I see your cat is doing something interesting. Various corners of the earth from Kievka, from Caliburn, from Zanzibar, from Gyptia, from Indra, from Taiwo, from all the corners of the earth. And they just cover various different topics on artifacts, famous wizards. Most of them aren't exactly spell books, but there are some that are spell theories, specifically rooted in the culture that they came from. It just seems to be more of encyclopedias than spell books.
Okay. Nothing important except that it's multilingual. Is that what it is?
Yes. If you'd like to make it, let's just say if you would like to make an investigation check on top of that.
14.
You know what,
That's
I'll
the
say
biggest.
you find it. There is a book that is it is actually written in common, but it is on famous Egyptian wizards.
Oh my
And you
God.
kind of flip through it a little bit and open it up and you see a very familiar name.
Oh my God.
Al-Hazred.
Oh my God.
You
Oh.
find the name Abdul Al-Hazred in the book. It describes a wizard who dabbled in very, very, very dark magic and died under incredibly mysterious circumstances. The article ends basically by saying, people don't really like to talk about him very much. Moving on.
I forgot. Where did I write that down?
I have the name you're probably looking for, and you probably remember this name.
Mm-hmm.
If I can actually get to the you probably wrote it from what your uncle told you, and the name was Fatima Al-Hazred.
Yes.
Oh. That's the person who might be trying to assassinate Rerek, right?
Yeah.
Seems to be.
When my uncle came to my dream, how did he contact me again?
He contacted you with the project image spell, which means that he was able to conjure an illusion of himself where you were.
A lot cooler than like doing that thing with the mind.
It does take a significant amount of power in order to do so. So it's not something everyone can do.
Yeah. Okay. It seems this person is connected to my assassin. Or whoever it is who wanted me killed.
All right, I'm not sure what to do with that.
I'm not sure either. Wait, is there any more what else is there about Abdul?
It was that he dabbled in incredibly dark magic that was not expounded upon, but it did mention that he died under incredibly mysterious circumstances. According to the book, he was in the marketplace before suddenly being lifted into the air and ripped apart, showering the nearby crowd with blood before several other people suffered the same fate. People heard strange noises but did not see anything, as whatever it was that killed him was invisible.
Do we know what that event is? Is that a common thing that people know?
It seems to not be. It seems people want to cover up his existence as much as possible due to him studying dark magic.
It seems I have questions for my uncle then. or whoever this Fatima is, if she does find me, I will have questions.
So you're saying it's uncommon for mortals to levitate and be ripped apart in markets?
Generally, yes.
Good
Sounds
to
like Vecna from Stranger Things. And it all comes around.
I haven't watched Stranger Things, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know, not really my type of show. But anyway. But that seems to be all that's in this room.
Interesting. Can I keep the book about
Yeah,
Abdul?
you can certainly keep the book. There's room in your pack. You can just shove it in.
That was interesting. What else do we see?
That seems to be all that's in this room.
Wow, boring. Let's go. Let's go to the next
I'd
room.
like to think Rerek actually says that out loud, just stands up,
Yeah.
looks around, boring, and then just leaves.
No, goes in, reads a book, drops it in my bag. Boring. Then let's go.
The next room seems to be the room of Anna. The twins don't share a room. They have two rooms right next to one another. The first one is Anna. She just has a bed, a desk, an armchair, an end table, and a window. And the desk is covered in papers. She also has various boxes or crates that also have tons of paper on them.
It's very burnable.
What's on the paper?
You pick up the paper and look at it. It looks like a bank statement.
How old was Anna when the disappearance happened?
She was an adult. You
Okay.
remember from some of the stuff, I think she was described in some of the stuff. She was the person that did most of the money managing.
Gotcha.
So this seems to be the entire Kruetzwald family bank statement pile. If you wanted to sit down and put all these in the correct order, you could probably figure out where all of the money went, where it came from, where it was supposed to go, where it's tied up. You
Oh,
could
man.
have a comprehensive itemized list of what valuables are here or not here, at least the ones that they would have disclosed to the bank. But it's like, it looks like it's literally about a ton of paper.
Cool. I don't feel like deciphering that right now.
Who wants to go through all that paper?
But I guess it's good to know where it is in case I can ever, I guess, get any sort of value out of this house.
Alex kind
Cool.
of picks up one of the papers and just goes, holy shit, we have a lot of money.
Do
think-
this account still exist somewhere? Which bank is it? Does it say anything?
No, just says the Darkmoor Bank.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna have to see if this money still exists in that bank.
I don't know,
Yeah.
who knows? It's been 400 years, and he kind of just chucks the paper down.
You know how much growth that is? Time deposit?
I'm not good with money.
Okay, well, let me start with NFTs. I'm kidding.
All right. Should we move on to the next bedroom then?
Yes.
So moving into Clara's room, it is entirely different. She, on the inside of her door, has what appears to be a complex sigil carved into it. There seem to be complex sigils painted all over the walls. She has various grimoires and spell books out. She actually has a fireplace in her room, of which there is a cauldron jammed into it. She has various display cabinets full of knives and wands, crystals, crystal balls, staves, various other things. She also has a cage in the corner of her room near what appears to be a table with several cloths spread that have painted on them sigils and splatters of what look like blood. Looking in the cage, you see rat skeletons at the bottom of the cage.
Ooh, I love this room.
What
See,
catches your eye the most is a very ornate looking staff. It appears to almost be a candelabra, but not quite. It is not a perfect 1, 2, 3 sort of structure. There's one lower, one higher, and even the one that's supposed to be in the center kind of curves off center a little bit. And it is put up in its own special place on the wall.
I want that.
Rerek, magic eyes.
Ding, ding, ding.
If you are casting detect magic,
I'll use concentration.
yes, okay. A lot of these things are magical. The staff that is on the wall is incredibly magical. It has an incredible amount of evocation magic coming off of it. Everything else seems to have just general sort of magical vibes to it, not generally a class of magic. These were probably just implements that had spells cast on them or were used, or possibly nothing more than a +1 staff or +1 wand or anything like that. Nothing too interesting, but the staff definitely is.
Okay, Kruetzwald, since you technically own these, can I have that staff?
Well, why don't you identify it and see if it's like cursed or something?
Yes.
Okay, sure. I'll stop detect magic, and then I'll use identify and touch it.
All right, let me pull out. The staff is, if I can actually get to it, a staff of fire. However, on top of its regular attunement requirements, it also can only be wielded by a person who has made a pact with Ichok, the violet flame.
Ichok?
Chalk the violent flame.
Violet, as in like a purple color.
So Clara was a warlock?
Who is? Can I history? Who is Ichok the Violet Flame?
I feel like I should know what that is.
I mean, if you'd like to make an Arcana check, you certainly may.
Oh, that was bad. 12 total.
Yeah, you don't know.
Okay. How do you spell Ichok?
Y''CHAK. The violet flame.
Okay.
What do you want to bet? It's another aberrant abomination of some kind.
It's evil.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Unless-
we don't know it's evil. I just looked them up and it says evil flame. or
Let's do the math though. Percy's ancestors have contact with the chained doom, the darkness beyond the stars, the pox queen, the sea bitch.
evil.
If I were a gambling fairy, I don't think I'd put any money on Ecoch. Ecoch? What is it?
Ichok.
Ichok. I wouldn't put any money on Echok being the violet light of happiness and joy.
Yeah, we can probably just leave the staff here.
Yeah, I
At this
agree, even
point,
though I really
Percy, you do hear a voice in the back of your head.
God
Oh my
damn it.
Hello.
Found my staff.
Oh no, it's one of you.
Give you power.
Of course you will.
Destroy your enemies.
Yep, I know. Yep. Okay. Shoot. Get out. They're talking. It's one of them. It's one of the guys in my head. That's his staff.
Told you. Now, honestly, boys, if you want to make pacts with eldritch ancient beings, I've got the phone to an Archfey whenever you need to. And you've met this one.
Do I know how to destroy it?
No, you do not know how to destroy it.
You
I
know.
guess what you want in return is me to free you, right? That's the trade.
Yes.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
You know,
Give you
though,
power.
fellas. Just a thought, maybe not even now, but later. When we go to the Waltz of Shadows, taking a few door prizes and bargaining chips wouldn't hurt, and we are being escorted by a coven of hags, and hags do love magical knickknacks and bric-a-brac from all sorts of places.
All right, put the staff in the magic pouch.
Well, I already did while he was talking. Thank you.
So one last sec. Echok, Clara was one of your servants? Hello? Gotcha.
Yes.
Is she alive?
No.
Cool. You've been very helpful.
Oh no.
Free me.
Ask him. Ask him.
Wait. If she was one of his servants, how did Echok wind up trapped in a crystal with the rest of them?
And how will the staff still work if he's trapped?
I don't know.
Me.
He's just saying free me over and over again. It's really annoying.
Which means the staff won't really work either way unless
And
he's
give you
free.
power to destroy your enemies.
Yep.
You even get, at this point, it seems he's getting desperate. You get a memory of you holding the
so
staff, extending your hand, and purple flames engulf Edmund as he burns to death.
Oh, come on. I have like mixed feelings about him now. I don't know.
It's in my bag either
Cool.
way.
We can give it away as a party favor.
Yes, let's just give it to some hags. They love things like this.
Yeah. Is there anything else notable in the room, like a spell book or grimoire that's almost equivalent to the staff?
No, it seems to just be notes, experiments. If you'd like to make another investigation check, you can.
It does seem like Clara was living a much more
I'll give him the help action on the investigation check.
interesting life.
Can I get
I-
like a vibe of like, do I think Clara was like the favorite twin because she was the magic one, or
The other one is an accountant.
God, okay, your twin sister is a warlock to an eldritch horror, and you are an
An
accountant.
accountant.
Which one's more evil?
The accountant. Okay, I do have a 15 and a 9 portents, but I don't know if that's important.
Well, I'll give you the help action as Lark mage hands the cage full of rat skeletons. He's gonna start jingling them.
I have a total of 18.
Okay. You find in one of the books that's on a stand, there is a couple pieces of paper that are sticking out of the book that don't look like they don't look like they're bound into the book, and you open it up. It is written in common, and it is an article on a creature known as a slod. There are drawings of them. They are very reptilian, strangely a mix between reptiles and frogs. They seem to have long claws, and there's notes that say that they are from, I believe it is Limbo. There are different colors of them. They do different things. They are also able, their reproductive method is to either implant an egg into a creature that will later hatch and burst out of it, or infect it with a disease known as the chaos phage. There's also a page on all sloddy, which is the plural of the term slod, S-L-A-A-D or S-L-A-A-D-I. They have a gemstone that forms in their brains. If you can get it out, you can command them to do whatever you want them to do.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
There is also a note that it looks like they're lab notes. And there are various drawings that are clearly made by Ludwig. However, the handwriting seems to be more feminine in nature. Presumably, it's Clara's writing. And it's notes about attempting to surgically remove this crystal from various different slotty. And it seems that she was unsuccessful in removing the crystal. All of them have died. She notes that it is an incredibly hard procedure to do, and she is saving, she's going to do her next one another time. However, there is no notes beyond that.
Cool.
Interesting.
I'm gonna pocket like 2 +1 wands. Just to
Okay,
have.
sure. Yeah, she
Are they
has
like-
all types of different wands in all different types of wood or stone or crystal, and all kinds of things like that.
While he does that, I take 5.
Just grab them all and shove them in your bag.
Yeah.
Get the gems, get the crystals. I'll get the most important thing, the cage full of rat skeletons.
And we might.
Are
be
there
able to sell them.
gems in here?
There are crystals and crystal balls. They're not
Okay.
gemstones. They're more of like quartz.
Always on the lookout for gems.
Yes. Of course.
Okay. Are we good, Hell?
Yeah.
Lark's just looking between like one of the smaller crystal balls and Percy, and then back to the smaller crystal ball, and being like, I don't think that would fit.
Fit what?
Nothing.
Where are you trying to shove it in?
Alex pipes up and she's like, I've seen bigger.
Okay.
Oh, then this one's. I'll mage hand him that crystal ball and be like, good luck, sport.
I'll use it at my next dorm party. And he just shoves it in his bag.
Dope.
He now just has I'll have to inform him, he now has a random crystal ball.
Okay. Onward.
Alright.
This is less boring than the last one.
I still think the accountant's the more evil of the two.
Yeah. I sense a lot of math in there. It wasn't
Ooh,
The
man.
most dangerous magic of all.
good. Arithmetic.
Ooh. So the next room, there are significantly less paintings. However, this is the first time that you've ever seen this person. They do have blonde hair, like Percy. And opening the door to the room, it is practically empty. There is a bed frame and there is a single chair with a white sheet draped over it. There's nothing else in here. This seems to be the room of Balthazar.
I think this one's the least favorite, everyone.
I probably would agree with that.
It's also the least interesting room. But wait.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any magical things coming out of this room. You do see a lot of drag marks on the floor of furniture that was clearly really heavy being dragged across the floor that all converge and go out the door.
Oh, someone took the furniture out of this place.
Well,
Yeah.
great grandpa Balthazar, not had a lot of love from his family, it would seem.
To be fair, though, I mean, can you blame him?
Hmm.
Well,
Let's go.
I'm happy to have at least one room in this house where there's just nothing, where I can just look at it and not be worried.
Can we make sure that it's nothing? Let's like probably
Roll.
grab that white tarp and like
What's under the tarp?
You whip the cover off to reveal a chair.
Hell yeah.
amazing.
It is a very nicely cushioned chair. It seems that the cushions are covered in a fabric that is white, but probably yellowed with age, with a lot of what look like bluish baby breath flowers all over it. A very lovely pattern. But it seems to just be a chair.
Oh, wait. I just need to check something.
Uh-huh.
I just need to check something. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be cute.
Okay. I'm slightly worried.
When Rerek whips the thing off, can I subtle spell a minor illusion to make a ghost appear in the chair?
Yes, you may.
I'm gonna use a fucking sorcery point to subtle spell a minor illusion and make a ghostly figure appear in the chair.
Can I do like a check if I'm scared or not or whatever?
I guess insight against deception or something.
You know what? Yeah. Do a contested insight versus deception.
What the
Rerek
fuck?
insight, Lark deception.
I want to do it too.
All right.
Okay, I got a 15 roll
Percy has
plus 3 insight.
23.
Well, I rolled a 3 before my modifier. So even with +9, that's only a 12.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I just stared at the ghost and I'm like,
Percy jumps.
Respectfully. Yeah, it's very clearly an illusion cast by Lark. You know Lark's illusions at this point.
I go
There's
like
something
this,
about it that just screams Lark.
and then the ghost goes.
It's a ghost with a giant boner.
That's how you know. Ghost boner. The name of the
And-
episode, Ghost
And
Boner.
then I flip the chair over. Whew.
It just tumbles across the room, clattering across the floor.
Is
You
there
all
nothing
know-
under it?
You're all no
Nope.
fun. I'll dismiss the illusion.
As it floats
something
awkwardly, as if it's still popping a squat over the chair. As the chair is just shoved out from under it.
You're gonna have to do better next time.
Yeah, it seems there's
Oh,
nothing
my
else in this
accent
room.
just changed there.
I was a little on the spot that time, but we'll do better.
Better luck
Okay.
next time, bro. Next.
Next room.
All right.
Oh, look at my slot. Where is it? Right there.
Oh, yep. Yep, that certainly looks like a slide.
Word one.
For a
So
minute there, it sounded like you said, "Look at my slot," and I was like, "I don't think we're there yet."
oh dear.
I've known you
for-
guys for a year.
That's for after hours.
We've
that's the
been
after
playing
hours
this
part of
for
the
a
podcast.
year,
We don't
guys.
record. Yeah, so the next room, you open it up and it is like a zoo. There are taxidermied animals and creatures everywhere, mostly weird, bizarre sea creatures, other animals that you haven't seen before. There's this weird creature that seems to have like a beaver tail, a duck bill, and duck feet, but it's not. It has fur all over it. It's really weird.
Platypus?
Yep. You see like
Oh.
nautiluses, seashells of various things, opalized fossils of crabs, just various different, very strange taxidermied animals
Like
everywhere.
the minute Lark clocks the platypus, he's just gonna be like, Bernard?
It's just frozen.
Can I mage hands the platypus and make it move like
So
Lark?
this
Yeah.
wasn't this wasn't
Since
a
we're pranking
bedroom.
each
It was
other.
like a trophy room.
Oh my god,
It is a
Lark.
bedroom.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
it's just this is Jacob's room, and he seems to be obsessed with taxidermied animals, particularly
Jacob
sea
needs a new
creatures.
personality.
Okay, so not the vibe of you was like a safari huntsman of just he's just a
No.
weirdo who likes ocean taxidermy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a hunch he had something to do with the whole sea bitch nonsense.
Investigation.
Yes.
Sure. You can roll
Perhaps that
investigation if you
whole-
want.
Room downstairs that we ran into full of taxidermy. Lark's gonna take a close look at the platypus, be like, it's not Bernard. No, I did see someone transform someone into something remarkably similar to this once.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm doing investigation.
All right.
20.
You open the drawers to find that, interestingly, while there's a lot of sea life on display, the drawers have a lot of butterflies pinned to board. But
That
you
is
do also find drawers that are just full of seashells. Just absolutely full of seashells, along with other insects, various interesting looking wasps, bugs, beetles in particular, but a lot of butterflies.
He has drawers full of
Ingredients.
mounted insects instead of clothes. Do you think he just pasted dead butterflies all over himself sometimes?
I'm sure.
He
I'm
dance
sure that's
around
what
the
he did.
room a little.
Maybe.
All right.
Percy, your ancestors are very concerning.
Yeah, this is
Especially
what
that-
Feywild, and some of this is weird even for me.
especially-
this is the most concerning thing by far.
especially-
The butterfly room.
No, I would say it was Anna Banana.
The
The
accountant.
accountant.
Yes.
I mean,
Alright.
we all know that the magical school of accounting originates in the Nine Hells.
From Asmodeus himself.
The original accountant,
Yes.
Oh
the
my
one
God.
who infected others with accountancy. It's like vampirism, but not as sexy.
Greed. It's all about the greed.
Yep.
Okay.
So from my count, you have 2 rooms left.
Okay, let's keep going.
Cool. Next one.
So
Speak
this
it
one
up.
seems to have a smaller bed, and there are toy soldiers and horses littered around the room,
Ooh,
as well as books, such as you look at them, and Alex actually pipes up picking one of the books up and going, "Ugh, I had to read this." And it's called Cantrip Can Do. And it's just like a 15-page book on the basics of cantrips, and it's written for children.
Oh,
Lark's chewing on a butterfly wing. He just has like a box of them now.
God.
wow! It was like it's like a bag of chips.
Just crunching them.
He's like, the flavor really hasn't gone that far downhill for it being 400 years old.
They
I
put
wonder how many of
preservative-
those were extinct.
What do you put on those things to preserve them? On dead things?
Formaldehyde?
Yeah, they don't do that on bugs, right?
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Right,
put
well-
anything on them.
Never mind. They just dry up, right?
Yeah, they
That's
just
it.
dry them out.
Okay. I was gonna
Well-
say that has formaldehyde.
They're just dehydrated snacks. Like jerky.
Hey.
Right. If
You
I
wanna-
had to guess, this would be Oscar's room.
It most likely is, yes.
Oh yeah, like what a wizard would have, like a little cantrip book. Like a little baby wizard.
Yeah. It's all beginners books. There's nothing beyond like basic cantrips on these.
Mm.
There's books that mention like first level spells, but it's generally just cantrips. And it's also written specifically angled at children. So there's like the ABCs of magic,
Great.
cantrips
This
through
does
play,
Slinging
things like that.
fireballs by 10.
This does prove that he was a kid when he disappeared. Like, he was,
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was young.
Yeah, it seems like he
Um,
was in the middle of playing with his toys when whatever went down went down.
Hmm.
All right. One last room.
Yep.
Let's do this.
The final room, which seems to be Engelhardt's room. It surprisingly looks normal, mostly normal. There are a few books on the shelf. There's a bed. There's a writing desk. Interestingly, his bed actually has a canopy, and you notice the canopy has singe marks on it, as well as singe marks on the wall. And on the desk is a wand, as well as a short stack of books.
Another
Looking at the books, they seem to be similar to the books that were in Oscar's room, but more geared towards adults. Like Cantrips 101, Basics of Magic, Spells and You, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there are a lot of scorch marks, particularly near the ceiling and on the canopy of his bed.
He seems to have more practice with them magics.
Does the wand seem like it's a special one or just like a
No,
I
just
don't
a
know, I
basic
put it
wooden
in my
wand.
bag.
Just swiped it into your bag. It just seems like a regular wooden wand, probably one that you'd buy at the back to school sale at the Copper Cauldron.
Probably like a practice wand.
Yeah. Magical enough that it can be used as a focus, but not magical enough that it does anything special.
neat?
Wait, whose room is this?
Engelhardt's.
All right. I think that's everything, isn't it?
There is
Yeah.
another door next to the master bedroom. As I said, the master bedroom had its own tiny, like 3-foot hallway that led to it that had a second door.
Let's check that door.
The door seems to be locked.
Ah.
Let's blast it.
I jiggle the handle and make sure it's not a blood magic lock.
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay, cool. Well, we've checked every room in the house now. We haven't found a key.
I said let's blast it. And I blast it.
Don't burn the house down, but sure.
Well, I mean,
We don't
If
have
you want it-
anybody strong enough to kick it open.
if you want it blasted without burning the place down,
Eldritch blast it.
I'm gonna Eldritch blast it.
Sure.
I'll shoot at the. I guess maybe if I shoot off the doorknob, will it open up?
Theoretically, yes.
See, I'll aim for the doorknob with both beams of Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a stationary target. You can take all the time in the world you want to aim. It just happens. You blast the door open. The door bashes open to a spiral staircase that seems to lead up. This seems to be a tower that was at the corner of this section of the house. And as you ascend this stone staircase, you get to this tower. It is a huge room, very tall. In the center of it seems to be a large mechanical structure. You could probably call it an orrery of a kind. It has a variety of arms and orbs held at different heights that seem to turn and spin, as well as other wheels and things. There is another level of this that has a gigantic telescope that is pointed out of an opening in the wall, as well as various other telescopes that are pointed out various windows. But in the center of the room, let me check my notes to make sure I got what's right. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 corpses. They are on their knees with their hands blocking something. 5 of them are in a circle that seems to have been marked on the ground. There is still chalk lines on the ground. There are various objects that have been blasted beyond recognition. And they seem to be almost made of ash packed together, that there's still veins running through them that glow with this sort of purplish light. There's another corpse that is standing. This one does not seem to have a right arm, as if it's fallen off and crumbled away, but it is still coursing with that sort of purplish light. The corpses are mostly unidentifiable.
Okay. Unless you have identify as a spell. No, I'm just kidding.
How many adults disappeared from your family, Percy?
Dorothea, Wolfgang, Clara, Anna. Jacob. More than 6. More than 6 people disappeared. Melkor, Elsbeth, Engelhardt. Let me check something.
It sounds like 7.
How many corpses are there, Spencer?
There are
6.
6.
There are
5 in a
6.
circle, 1 off to the side.
Well, don't count your great-great-great-grandfather because he ran away, and
Yeah.
we also know that Oscar survived.
There are. Oh, yeah. Oscar was a child at the time, though, so I didn't count him. So all the adults are Wolfgang, Dorothea, Melkor, Elsbeth, Engelhardt, Jacob, Ludwig, Anna, Clara. So that's
Yeah.
9.
9.
It's no way.
So there's 3 that are not accounted for. I'm looking at the spell Speak with Dead, and I don't think there is a requirement for like how long they were dead. So I think I can cast it.
But there shouldn't there be a mouth to be talking back to you?
Oh, do they not have mouths?
They seem to be... It's not so much that they don't have mouths. Their features are hard to tell. It's almost as if they were statues with just immense amounts of acid erosion, but also they look like they're just ash packed together. Like one sneeze and they just turn into a cloud of dust.
Ah.
So it's possible that the spell might not recognize them as corpses.
And I'll still give it a shot, I guess. I guess, is there one of them that looks to be sort of leading this ritual?
There is one that is larger than the rest of them. It's not so much that
Cool.
they're leading, but just the size of them. they seem to be a larger human.
Cool. I will go try to cast Speak with Dead on that one.
All right. You cast it and you feel the magic move forward, almost attempting to find something. It recognizes that there's something there, but it can't quite latch onto it. And then your spell goes out as the whole body just
Oof.
turns
Okay.
into dust, and gouts of this purple flame up into the air before
More
vanishing.
purple flame. Why don't you ask that purple flame asshole in your head?
Yeah, I'll
Percy?
try. They're not really very helpful normally. Chok, was this a ritual to you?
No, but I came forth anyway.
Oh, you asshole. He's the one who burnt all of these people.
This is the power I can give you.
Yeah,
This
I know.
is what your enemies will be.
Ask him who these people are.
Who are all these? Who are these people?
One was the woman who held my staff.
Clara.
Clara, I think, was one of them.
I did not bother learning the names of the others. They did not deal with me.
Ask him if one of them was the accounting witch. If her body is one of the ones not accounted for, we are in the most danger.
Was the twin sister of the woman that you worked with here?
I care not.
All right.
Oh, wait, can we hear Percy when he talks to them?
I'm speaking out loud.
Percy, you need to have some gumption when you're dealing with interplane entities that are trying to...
Well, I don't know. Normally all they say is free me, free me. Like there's not a lot of conversation that happens normally.
Free me.
There he goes.
Lark's
Okay, what if-
Lark's gonna do this thing where he just cups either side of Percy's face. And he's just gonna be like, Percy, darling, that means you have the power in the bargaining scenario.
Yeah, and we can use this staff to probably bargain with them. So I mage hand the staff and be like, hang it over.
Lark's just like, darling, I really need to teach you how to talk to people before you keep letting these abominations run all over you in your head. Use them and throw them away like the trash they are.
I mean, he can hear you too, I think, because I can hear you. So
Free me.
he's just saying free me. Yeah.
Well, can Echok's memory be like played in your head?
I mean, kinda.
Has he done that before?
Just once.
I thought he did.
I mean, he
Last-
put a vision in Percy's head
Yeah.
of Percy burning Edmund to death. So it wasn't even a memory, it was just a vision.
Yeah.
Echok is so useless.
Echok, if you're helpful, I might consider freeing you.
No, he's not helpful. Let's
Do
just break this staff.
know what they were trying to do before you interfered in their ritual?
They were trying to summon forth Therastun.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I guess we could have seen that coming.
Clara called me forth to burn reality before him. She did not control what I gave her properly. But if you can, then you can serve me. Destroy your enemies.
Right. So Clara purposely called you in.
Yes.
Was she trying to stop Therastun from coming?
No. She wished to burn reality, to give it room to come forth.
Oh,
a gate that cannot be closed.
well, for a second, I thought maybe she was a good person, but never mind.
Oh wait. So we knew the number of adults, but if I'm remembering correctly, and this is not in character but above game. Isn't the whole purpose of them trying to call Farah's Dune because like Dorothea died or something, and they were trying to bring her back, or she was dying?
I think
or sick?
Dorothea was fine, wasn't she?
Yes.
It was like a matriarch figure, right? Why am I remembering that?
I don't think anyone was dying. I think Wolfgang was just like crazy and like.
You do
Wanted-
remember the note at the back of one of the books that basically was a love letter to Dorothea from Wolfgang that basically said, you know, I will remake the world in your image because I love you so much, blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
So yeah,
Right.
he is just batshit insane.
he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Never mind. Back to in character. Lark's just like now.
Cuckoo for coochie puffs.
Oh. That's the other title for the episode.
Cuckoo for coochie.
Straight men will literally summon abominations to destroy the world to prove their love instead of going to therapy.
Oh my god.
Okay, well,
All right.
that answers some of our questions.
I guess at least we have found a few of my family members.
So I think the only ones that are not accounted for, well, no, you actually don't know which ones are not
Yeah.
accounted for because
We just know
the
that Clara
corpses
was
are
here.
unidentifiable. Yeah, you
Hey.
just know that Clara is one of them.
Percy, why don't you ask Echok to show you what he saw when he burned them to death? Lark still hasn't moved his hands off of Percy's face, so he's doing this like. And mind you, like they're at literally two different sizes. So he's just doing these weird little pets along
Yeah.
his like chin line.
Tiny 2 foot tall fairy.
Yeah. All right, Echuk, if you want me to consider freeing you, you have to show me what happened that night.
There's a
Now.
moment he doesn't answer for a second, but then you feel the spiral shaped scar on your side
God damn it.
just incredibly painfully, and your vision is just filled with purple flames. The room is on fire. There's purple flames up the wall. There's purple flames on the orrery. There are purple flames just everywhere, and you just see 5 figures holding hands, screaming. You can't see who they are, though. The
Damn it.
flames block your vision, as well as there is another figure that is seeming to bat the flames away to try and get to them. However, you do hear a voice. You just hear above the screaming, "Hold on, my love!" And then that's it. The vision stops.
2 more people.
Okay.
Dorothea.
Yeah, so like pick this up. I probably like fell over and I'm like, oh god, ow, okay, oh jeez.
Yeah, as you
Okay.
pull your hand away, the place where your scar on the side is wet. It started leaking again.
I start
Really
already just, like,
sweat.
unrolling a fresh thing of gauze and like
Percy
and I'm like,
got that wop.
It leaks
yeah.
sweat. It leaks what?
Yeah, it just showed me like a lot of fire mostly. Some voice was like, I'm coming, my love. I heard that. Was it like a male or female voice?
It was a feminine voice.
Okay.
Now, just make sure that you tell Echok you have to consult with several interplanar beings before you can do anything. Because gods know
Yes.
that Saint Hypatia never gets back to you as it is.
Yeah, that's very true. Echok. It's a lot of red tape.
Who are the couples in your family? There's
I have it.
Dorothea,
Dorothea, Wolfgang,
Wolfgang. And then there's
Melkor and Elsbeth, I believe.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
You can't forget
then-
and her lover Asmodeus.
And then that's all. Balthazar has an unnamed spouse. But he's not
Great,
even
there's another
here,
one.
so
Oh
those
no,
are
wait,
all the
he's your
couples.
great grandfather, so she's probably
Yeah.
like not there.
Yeah. She's unrelated to all of this.
You
Hopefully. Um
So who do
So the
y'all
woman
suspect
had to
they
probably
are?
either be Dorothea or Elsbeth. I'd probably guess Dorothea because I think she sort of ran things.
I do want to note though that I love this idea that like Percy starts getting his vision, grasping his side in pain and falls over, and Lark's still just floating there, and he's like, things happen.
Oh, well.
He just like lets you fall and doesn't try to
Yeah.
stop it.
Okay.
Well, is there anything else in here we should take a look at, or is that really?
Also, who do all of the children, like from Anna, Clara, Jacob, Benedict Cumberbatch,
That was totally one of them.
Yeah.
do all of them practice magic?
No, I don't think so.
Some of them do not.
I don't
Correct.
think Jacob or Anna did, and Ludwig is a maybe.
Anna practiced the forbidden art of accounting.
Yeah,
The
Anna,
darkest art of
secret
all.
end boss of the campaign.
I think Oscar was the only one of the kids who was still a kid at the time of.
Yeah, so he's not included
the
there. He's
incident.
alive.
Yeah.
It
How many
does
kids
kind of
are there?
suck for it was Engelhardt who still had to practice magic as an adult.
Yeah,
He must have been shitty at it if the little kid was up to his level already.
That's why they summoned Ichak and they were burned.
yeah. I'm sure it was just to help Engelhardt catch up to the child.
Okay, so if Engelhardt's on there and Clara's on there, and then Dorothea might be the one that's outside of the circle. That's 3 people.
I mean, I think the person who was saying "I'm coming, my love" might not. I don't think they're one of these bodies. I think they probably got out. Is that
it's
is that
one of
accurate,
them.
Spencer?
It's
You
one of
only
them.
saw 6 people in your vision.
Cool, but
So one of them got out.
yeah. So the voice was. I don't think the voice was one of
Oh,
those
wait,
6
no.
people.
No,
Yeah, it was
5
6.
5 of them was in the circle, and then one of them was outside.
Oh, was that what
of the
happened?
Circle.
Yes.
Okay,
There's
so
5 of them in the
the
circle,
6th
and there's
person ran in and died. Okay.
Yeah, trying
basically,
to stop
yeah.
it.
Okay.
That would be either Dorothy or
Or Elsbeth, yeah, one of those 2. All right.
Jesus, it's so hard to deduce.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we not paying attention enough?
I don't know.
I mean, you've
that-
seen portraits of them. You might be able
Yeah.
to make a guess by looking at the shapes of the bodies. You might be able to make a guess. They're not totally devoid of features. They're just not easily recognizable by just looking at them.
All right. Well,
This is when you check each corpse for their individual personality quirks we found in their room. Quick,
Yeah.
which one has a taxidermied animal at its feet? Which one is an accountant?
Which one looks like they just suck really, really bad? Like it's the worst.
My
Which
God,
one
it's
has
like
the
that
dunce
trend
cap
of
on?
playing who's who
Subjective
game.
guess who.
Wait, how many
Subjective guess
children?
who.
How many children are those total? The twins,
The
Oliver.
kids are Jacob, Ludwig, Anna, Clara, Oscar.
Next time Yofi and
And
Alex
then
do it,
Engelhardt and Balthazar are the kids of Melkor and Elsbeth. But Balthazar got out. So Engelhardt's
Weird.
the weird one with all the
Hold
taxidermy.
up! What the fuck?
No, Jacob
need-
was all. Wait.
Oh,
Jacob was the
no, you're
taxidermy.
right. Jacob's
Engelhardt was
taxidermy.
the remedial sorcerer.
Can we
Yes,
do a
that's the one.
really quick? Family
Real
tree.
quick.
Who's on the top?
At the top is Wolfgang and Dorothea. And then right next to them, also at the top, but less important than them, is Melkor and Elsbeth.
Okay, and children of Wolfgang
And
and
the children of Wolfgang are Jacob, Ludwig, Anna, Clara, and Oscar.
children of Melchor.
There's
Okay.
Engelhardt and Balthazar. They had some, Melkor and Elsbeth had some dramatic name tastes.
1, 2, 3. Is Balthazar magical?
Balthazar is my ancestor. He left. And we
Okay,
don't
so-
know if he's magic
So
or not.
he's safe.
He's the one who left and who moved all this shit out of his room before it was destroyed. Or after. Who knows?
Magic, but safe. Magic.
No, really. I don't know if I'm saying this in character or out of character at this point, but it's just like, could you imagine being part of like culty magical wizard warlock family and your 10-year-old cousin is better at spellcasting than you
that would-
are and you're in your like 20s?
I'd kill my cousin. I'd kill him. I'd
Just
Eldritch
smother
blast that
him.
little bitch.
Man, this is so hard.
Well, that's the thing. If he wanted to be a warlock, he could have powers, but
Yeah, you could have
wasn't
level
even
5
good
spell
enough.
slots right off the bat.
he wasn't even good enough to turn himself into a warlock.
Oh man.
Like, you're so bad at magic, you can't even contact something that'll give you enough magical powers, like your other cousin did.
Also, your entire family, that's just their whole deal is contacting all of these other things.
And when you contact somebody with everyone else, it burnt all of you.
I just
Yeah.
have this like family dynamic vision in my head now that Engelhardt is the Meg of the family.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that seems to be all that's in this room.
One,
Well, that
two.
I think is all of the rooms that are above ground.
Seems to
Lark's
be.
just chewing on a Luna moth wing for a minute. He probably just dumped all of the various butterflies and moths into like one easy to go box.
There's just
Well-
a trail of boxes down the hallway as you pulled them all out one by one.
Okay, so what do we do? What do we do now? What's next?
The only thing I can think of is to head downwards, but that's where we know a lot of scary things are.
Well, I think eventually we're gonna have to
Probably.
get that shit over with.
In the grand scheme of things, we should most assuredly go back to Darkmoors sooner rather than later to check on the bards we left with a world-ending
That is
symphony.
also true.
And maybe go to the bank and see if
We got money.
Percy and Alex
Yeah.
are rolling in more money.
I want to grab, like, I don't know, a piece of paper with like the routing number or something of the account.
Account
Banks
number.
just got checks. I
Yeah.
don't think they have routing
Whatever
numbers
account
yet.
information I can find.
I think you guys were literally one of the first people to cash a check in Darkmoor
Yeah.
ever.
I think if you're next of kin or whoever, since Anna is dead, you're like, y'all can get it.
Yeah.
Unless Balthazar already cashed all the money in.
Yeah.
That's the other way. We should also
Oh, that's true.
probably... Should we spend a little more time trying to figure out where Balthazar went and what happened to him?
That might be a good idea.
I'm trying to think of if you knew anything extra about what I think you did. That was when Lark confused the capital city mourning for the state of mourning. I think you know Balthazar bought a house somewhere in mourning and
okay.
moved there when he was arguing with his family,
Okay.
presumably with his wife.
We could maybe talk to my dad a bit, see if there's any other sort of family records, and maybe try to go to mourning.
Yeah.
Yes, we should probably go to morning, I suppose. Road trip. Though realistically, nowhere's good travel after you've been to the Shadowfell and the Feywild at this point.
You could
Unless
check up
morning
on
also happens to have a infernal carnival trying to steal people's souls, which
well, on the
You
way
never know.
to morning, you'll pass through Short Drop Run and you can check on Grenadine and her little bakery, and you can check
Yeah.
on Boris and the Maggoty Grave and see how those are going.
Honestly, boring.
Daddy Boris.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Percy's
Okay.
theme, let's do it.
I'm about to be no longer 15.
Oh my god, it's almost it's Rerek's birthday soon.
And every birthday is for 7 years. Let me tell you. I've
Oh my
only had
God.
two.
Are we
I've only
having
had
are we
two
having the
birthdays.
creepy oh she's 18 now conversation?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Straight roast men of Twitter rejoice.
That is so
Right.
fucked up. I really wish I didn't say he's 15.
That was an interesting decision, to say that.
I don't know why
Well,
I said that.
now that you guys at least somewhat have an idea of where you might want to go in the future, we are going to end the episode there. Hopefully we will have Yofi and Alex back so that we can have the full group, so that you guys can either decide to go on a road trip or go into the weird secret tunnels under the house.
This is next week. What's the date for next week?
I will have to check after the recording. So I will see all of you next week. Join us to see whether or not they go on the road trip or check out the weird tunnels under the house.